Boom.
We made it.
We did barely. Oh, I didn't make it was the problem. Man,
Well,
I feel like everybody decided to get into an accident on the freeway today. It took me 3.5 hours to do what normally takes me about an hour 45.
they were like, you know what? I'm going to hit this rail so that guy can't get to his podcast on time.
100%. and then, so, because I took my in-laws to the airport, which usually not a big deal. I even had them leave like a half hour earlier. I'm like, I got a thing to record tonight. Like, can we leave like a half hour earlier just to make sure I make it on time? And they're like, yeah, no problem. Like, they're just gonna be sitting at the airport for an extra half hour, but like they can deal. It's not a big deal. And then I got back to their house because I drove their car because their car is much nicer and spacier than my car.
What do they got?
They have a hybrid SUV. What is it? Is it a Kia? Something like that? I don't remember.
It's not the Rogue One Nissan.
No, it's not the Rogue One.
It's not the.
But
it's not that.
But it's got way better gas mileage. And if I'm driving to the airport, which it's like an hour away from my house, like I'm like they're footing the gas bill. Like I'm not putting those miles on my car. Like I'm gonna drive their car down. Plus it's like nicer. Anyways, so then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take the back roads to my house because it's like a 20-minute drive on the freeway or like a 22-minute back road drive off the freeway to my house. But like the freeway's a gamble. I've had a bad experience all day on the freeway. So I took the back roads and you get on these little windy roads and like this car decided to go 20 miles an hour. Like I got so fed up. I'm like honking at the car and we're like in the middle of nowhere. It's back road rage, literally Mike. Back roads. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like what are you doing? Why are you driving so slow? It was infuriating.
Yeah, it's always the worst when people are driving like 20 under the limit or just like even 5 to 10 under the limit bothers me because I kind of have a lead foot. I speed, quite a bit.
California, if you're not going 5 over the limit, you're not driving the proper speed limit.
Yeah,
that's just how it is.
It makes me mad when people go. Like, I'll see people be like 5 under the limit, and then I'll look, and they're clearly like 16. I'm like, I do kind of feel bad if they're a first-time driver, but...
Well, one of the accidents was clearly like an 18-year-old. I almost yelled out of my car, like you asshole, just learn to drive. Just don't get into a car accident. It's so easy. It's so easy not to get into a car accident. I do it all the
It
time.
genuinely is easy not to, but
It's
I'm gonna
so
knock on some
easy.
wood. The closest thing I can find.
So easy. I know, knock on wood, but I've never been in a car accident that was my fault. Like I've been in car accidents, but it's always someone hitting me, or like one time I spun out because it was raining and like I hit like a really slippery patch. Like my car just spun out. I was driving normal.
Yeah, there's always things like that can happen, like a deer jumps out in front of you.
Sure.
But like most car accidents are because somebody didn't pay attention.
Somebody's stupid.
And they're so easy. Like most car accidents are easy to avoid, like texting, you know, changing the radio or whatever you got to do. Most accidents are easy to avoid.
I'm like decompressing now after like all I've been doing today is driving. I left my house at like 2:50 today, and I just got home and it's like 6:30. I got home at 6:38, like, and it's 6:48. So
you're hungry and ready to do a podcast, right?
My wife is bringing home a Costco pizza. I'll be okay.
Okay. So Costco pizza mid podcast.
I know I'll eat it out for a podcast. I can survive. Like I've got enough resources here.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to starve. You know.
Yeah, true. So before we get going, just say hello to our Patreon members watching us live. Paragon, Pletho, Clone Commander, VIPs in the chat right now, which is great to see. We got to schedule our August VIP hangout.
With my VIP.
It does. You might want to go get that checked out.
I know I should. Probably get some antibiotics. But Clone Command goes to so many dumb like what are you like a
he's a firefighter, right? Isn't he a firefighter?
Right. That's right.
He's like a legit hero.
He probably has some real stories like there.
Yeah. He's a real hero of America. That's a lot more important than me. I just sit at right here in this desk all day working. So you're braver than me.
This is getting a little political, but this is on the pre-show, so it's fine. But like, you know, during in like 2020 when everyone's like defund the police and stuff, I heard someone legit said like, what's next? You're gonna defund firefighters? And I was like, last I heard, firefighters weren't killing people. You know, like no, firefighters aren't breaking into people's houses and just shooting them. Like they're not starting fires.
No, actually, firefighters go to homes, they start the fires, and then they 100%. Throw people into the house. They close the windows and seal them.
I've never seen a house like burned down on fire that a firefighter hasn't been there for. I'm just saying, there's always firefighters around when you see a fire.
Yeah. Speaking of that whole thing, whenever that was, and then that lawyer or political guy who made the commercial, it was like, next time you're in trouble, call a crackhead. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my God. There's like a legit commercial of this politician who's like campaigning for like not to defund the police and all that stuff. He's like on the other side. And he was like, next time you're in trouble, call a crackhead. It's just one of the funniest Twitter videos I've ever seen. I'll have to send it to you. I know somebody in the comments has seen that. I'll send it to you after this.
All right.
It's insanely hilarious.
That's enough of political corner. I didn't really mean to. I just thought it was funny. Like nobody wants to fucking defund the firefighter. Firefighters are nothing but heroic. Like
firefighters are the goats.
100%. Like of all the utilities, are the utilities like public servants? I guess.
I think public servants is
firefighters, and then like post office.
Because we need our Figgy deliveries.
Firefighters, right? And then post office right below that. Are you kidding me? I couldn't imagine all day.
I don't know. Honestly, I know we have a firefighter in the chat.
Maybe
but
trash people too. Like
I've never had to depend on a firefighter, but I've always depended on the post office guy to deliver me my figures. So my tier list, I'm putting post office delivery guy at S tier at the very top.
So I always put paramedics on the same level as firefighters because often I feel like
they are kind of the same thing.
Kind of the same thing. 100%. Firefighters should get paid NFL level money. Same thing with like teachers. Like anyone like that should get paid way more than they do. 1,000%.
I think back when finance people should be paid like that.
You already kind of are. Shut up. But
it's not like that.
anytime I see people say things like, oh, you can't raise the minimum wage, then normal people like burger flippers will be making the same as like paramedics. I'm like, that's not the burger flippers' fault. Paramedics should be paid more. Like, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Don't get mad at low paying jobs wanting more money. Like, you should also just be wanting more money. Like, don't get mad at them. They're not the problem.
Yeah, it's like
I got political again. I'm sorry.
I was about to say we're getting political again. It's like whenever people say they're anti raising teacher wages, I'm like, teachers are like legit heroes of the society that nobody
you have
recognizes.
no idea. My wife,
like, to deal with that many kids every day.
It's not just the kids, it's the parents. It's the kids, it's the parents, it's the bullshit like politics stuff they have to deal with on top of that, coming down from them, everything coming up from them. Like, my wife was forced to pass a kid last year who was caught cheating because he had powerful parents. And she was so mad that they're like, we just don't want any trouble. Like, this kid, like, it's not worth it. Like, just give the kid a passing grade. And she's like, he cheated like multiple times. He doesn't deserve what you're giving him. Like, no, just do it. It's stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, teachers, therapists, they all got to deal with.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, my wife's a family and child therapist, so that can be pretty wild every now and then.
I'm sure there's tons of stories and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I say enough society. We're bringing us down. We're bringing the mood down, right?
Listen, I've had a day, okay? No, that's a good point. Let's change gears. Let's talk Star Wars.
Remember when there was like 4 podcasts in a row when our Patreon intro was literally just we were talking about like death and stuff?
Yeah, that's
true. It got really weird on the Patreon intros for a bit there.
That's true. That's true. I gotta open up.
Show notes.
Yeah, I literally. Yeah. I sat down and like went straight in. So I'm happy. I was a little worried my headphones wouldn't have battery power because I didn't know when the last time I charged them was. Should be good. I got a brand new microphone. So hopefully
it sounds good. Yeah, it sounds great.
Good? Yeah.
Do you want to just give a quick run through? Do I need to add anything? I know we don't have a lot to talk about, so I was scraping the bottom of the barrel trying to come up with some things. So.
No, I think you're good. I think we got the.
Like, there's no Star Wars shows.
There was the leak. There was the one leak, right?
I got that in here. Oh, I forgot to. I thought I typed that in. I know I have it.
Okay, I'm like, it's not in the notes, but I do see the slide. So
yeah, I'll put that on there.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of wanted this. Let's lead with the. Should we lead? Because I wanted the new pre-order thing to lead into the Black Series waves.
Yeah. So gotcha. Yeah. So move that up.
I'm gonna move that. Should I just lead with it?
Move it up to the top. Why not? Let's lead with it.
Lead with the leak. All right.
Lead with the leak. The lead.
And then what else? Is there anything else to add in? I think we're.
I mean, if I think of something, I'll say something.
Yeah, we're just general chat. Like, there's not we're gonna heavily rely on the chat tonight because obviously there's like no Black Series news.
There's no news.
But we do have a good amount of stuff to talk about. So but we are gonna chat, help us out quite a bit, ask us questions. We might respond to the chat more than we normally do.
We have some good questions and emails today too.
Yes, luckily we have a pretty good amount in there. So
yeah,
we have 6. Wow. Yeah. All right. I say let's get going. I'm ready.
Oh
wait, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Oh man, there's a roller coaster of emotion there. I was ready to go, and then I wasn't.
I forgot the light. I forgot my spotlight. All right. It's a little bright. Hang on. It's a little hot.
All right. Oh, I also like hurried. I'm like, okay, what have I gotten in the last 2 weeks? What toys have I gotten? And I'm like, was this new? Did I have this last episode? I'm pretty sure
they're going to be all the same ones from last week.
Probably.
Or last pod. All right, I'm ready now.
I got some good toys this last week, actually. Okay, cool. You're ready now. Are you ready?
I am ready. 2 thumbs up.
Ready? 2 thumbs up. Okay, well, hi there. Welcome to episode 77. That's as many as 11 sevens. It's as many as 11 sevens. That's how that math works.
I'm not going to check the math right now, but
that's fair.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so welcome to there's not a lot of news. There's not, but we're doing a podcast anyway because we do one every other week, and you're listening to Black Series Cantina. I'm your host, Mike, and with me, as always, I have the incomparable Zach.
Hello there. Welcome to Black Series Cantina, the podcast that you can always look forward to, not letting you down, unlike season 2 of House of the Dragon. But that's a whole nother subject.
Oh man, I haven't even watched it. And I heard like, every week I feel like you guys were like, oh man, House of the Dragon, House of the Dragon, House of the Dragon. Did it have a bad ending?
It like, I don't want to spoil it for people out there, but
you didn't like it though, as the thing.
it's like the war, like season 1 literally ended. It's like, all right,
yeah,
we're going to start the war now.
yeah.
And then every episode was amazing in season 2. Every episode is amazing. But then it's like you watch the finale and it's like, okay, now we're starting the war. Like
what? No,
like, now we're starting the. So it's literally like, like the episodes were great. Just the finale would have been an amazing episode had it been in episode 8 because they shortened it by 2 seasons and then, or by 2 episodes. Sorry, the season 2 they shortened it to 8.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, but this isn't Star Wars related, so. I just wanted to. I had to get.
I'm sure there are people. I don't know.
Yeah.
They might care about this. You know, what's weird is I liked the first season well enough, and when the second season came out, I just had no interest in watching it, and I don't know why.
I mean,
just nothing compelled me. I guess I'm just kind of over Game of Thrones in general as a concept.
You might be better off just waiting to watch season 2 until right before season 3 comes out, because season 2 was a lot more build up. Which it's great. Like I love the build up in Game of Thrones. Like it's amazing. But
that was kind of Game of Thrones' problem too, though, is there was like 7 seasons of build up, and then the finale, the last season sucked so hard. I've never wanted to go back and rewatch, even though the first like 6 seasons are solid. Like it's good storytelling. It's really really good.
Yeah.
But the last season and a half were just so bad. I just have zero interest in reliving any of it. It kind of soured me on the whole world. And then knowing that George R.R. Martin's like never going to finish the book.
Done with his books. Yeah, they're cooked.
Do not care about like that as even a concept anymore.
Yeah. Well, moving on from Game of Thrones to Star Wars, because we are the
Game of Thrones podcast.
The House of the Dragon Cantina or something. What do we got going on here?
Cantina of the Dragon.
Yeah, that's going to be my side podcast.
There you
I'll
go.
start soon. I got to do like a Dragon Ball Z / Yeah, perfect. So yeah, welcome to Black Series Cantina, episode 77.
Dragon Ball Z could be Capsule Cantina.
Capsule, that's good. I like that. I like that one.
Starting that, yeah. Anyway,
I like that.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Black Series Cantina, episode 77, which of course Star Wars 77 is when it was started. So today's episode is going to be themed after the original Star Wars A New Hope from 1977.
For the people that aren't watching this, Zach has made a really lovely. We have a little background for our StreamYard, and Zach has that lovely little 7.7 with the X-wing and TIE fighter.
Right, the little retro colors. I literally did that 2 minutes before you joined. I was like, oh crap, I got to do an extra thing, and I was like, let me do a little graphic here on top.
No, you nailed it.
So that looks good. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode. I really hope you enjoyed our San Diego Comic-Con coverage last episode with Sebastian, Curling Collectibles. Shout out, Sebastian. We really appreciate you hopping on and joining. That was an absolute blast of a time. But now I say Mike, how has the last 2 weeks of collecting been for you? Anything good for this? Fine addition.
Fine addition to my collection.
Absolutely. I feel like I've gotten a lot. Not all of it Star Wars, but some of it. I'll start with Star Wars. First, I got this nice little 2-pack here that got the Rebel Trooper and Stormtrooper 2-pack, very similar to the Battle Droid and Clone Trooper 2-pack. So if you got that, you know what to expect here. The figures, as far as I can tell, exact same. There's no differences. They come with the same accessories that you would expect them to. The Stormtrooper is the Stormtrooper. It comes with the blaster that the Rogue One or the Mandalorian version came with, so it has like the little flashlight and the extended magazine on it, and then the Rebel Trooper, same face, like same little Death Star plans. I will say I think the black on his helmet isn't quite as shiny as the original release, but other than that, everything's pretty much the same. So if you're looking for more Stormies and more Rebbies, it's a good set. I do wish I recorded a video on it that I haven't edited or posted yet, but long story short, I do wish that we had some kind of way to make the Rebel Fleet Trooper not look like the same guy. That's it.
Yeah, and some minor things like we could really use the holster on the Stormtrooper.
Absolutely.
We've stepped so many 2020s with that, without it now.
I mentioned that as well, and because I went back and looked at this up because we all in our heads have the holster on them, but if you watch any of the original trilogy movies, there are about half and half.
It's mixed in,
have it. It's mixed in, so not everyone has it, but not everyone doesn't have it. But so far in our collections, all of the new ones don't have it, and I would really like us to get one that has it, that has the holster for sure.
So, question for you: if you were a stormtrooper building out your what you're going to take into battle, would you take a holster or would you not have a holster?
I feel like I'd want a holster just to have one. I don't want to hold my blaster every
24/7. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, who wants to do that? You got to holster it so you can have hands free.
I do appreciate that you're leading off our episode 77 show with something from the 77 Star Wars. I like that. 77
Star Wars. That was 100% intentional. And now going the exact opposite way, I also got accidentally another clone trooper because I was going to take you up on your offer of getting
that shit quick.
Trooper, the Halloween clone trooper. Exactly. I put a pre-order down on this Halloween clone trooper, and I already had one, but I got the Halloween 2-pack, and someone posted a picture of like 2 of these skeleton clone troopers flanking the Inquisitor, and I'm like, that looks cool. I want that on my shelf. So I bought a second one so I could have 2 of these guys. But then
it is going to look good.
It is going to look good. So I bought this, and then Zach was like, I'll just sell you mine. And I was like, cool. And then I just forgot about it.
It's okay. It's okay.
And next thing I know, there was no email saying, hey, this is coming in stock. This is charging. This is shipping out. Because Hasbro usually like sends those emails out, but there was nothing. I got an email saying, hey, this has left the building. And I was like, what? Okay. Thanks, Mr. Hasbro. And then this is the last Star Wars, but I joined the
finally
Battle Droid. Yeah, I joined the Super Battle Droid and Darth Sidious Club. These come to me courtesy of Toy Snowman. And normally I'm like, oh, I bought these. He just sends them to me real fast. But he actually sent me the Darth Sidious for free. So
that's worth the wait then. 100%.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't pay for it. So when I do my review, I'm gonna have to put out a little bit. I don't know why I'm coughing. Hold on.
Mike's choking mid-podcast.
I'm choking. Anyway, I'm gonna cut that out. This is one of those things. If you're listening to the audio podcast, I cut a lot of that stuff out. Especially last week, I cut a lot out while we were doing something where there was a lot of like hemming and hawing, and I showed it all.
Yeah, it was 2 episodes ago when we did the draft, or a couple episodes ago when we did the draft, because we were deciding, like taking.
Yeah. We were hemming and hawing and stuff, and I cut that out, so it sounded like we were a lot snappier of like picking stuff, but it was not that way. Anyways, so I haven't opened these yet. I'll open them soon, but I wanted to do a video and whatnot, so I got those. I gotta say, I think I'm kind of cooling on G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I saw your text. What's going on with that?
I got Doc here a couple days ago. No, like a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago. I think I got this like a day or so after our last recording. And I like Doc. Doc is a great character. He's a medic, but I have just zero interest in opening him up. I don't know why. And I've got the new HasLab on pre-order. Zero interest. I mean, I might cancel it. We'll get into this, but the the Cobra Commander Once a Man San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I have zero interest in that. I'm rapidly cooling on G.I. Joe, and it just came out of nowhere. But I think part of that reason is because I think getting Street Fighter figures kind of, I can only love so much, but also I got these skeletons.
That's so sick.
These are Mythic Legion 4 Horsemen Studios skeletons. They were a surprise announcement. They're just like, hey, we made these skeletons. They were like, I think they were like $25 a piece, like $30 a piece. They come with like a bunch of hands. Like they come with this cool little, like he's got a little pointy thing. Like they've got great articulation. They got spears and swords and shields. I love them, and I kind of regret only getting 2, honestly.
That's the since we're at Star Wars 77. That's the Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
That's the Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. I was gonna make that joke, yeah, and then I totally forgot. But yes, this is the canonical Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru charred remains, for sure. And that's it. That's all I got.
All right, my fine editions will be very quick. I only have one thing, and that is this reissue of Bosk. He shipped from GameStop pretty quickly. I'm just reminded of how terrible this action figure really is, to the point it's so bad. I think I might actually get the Mafex whenever it releases, because I feel like there's a 0% chance we're gonna get a new Bosk, anytime in the next
probably not.
decade and a half, probably.
After last episode's reveal, the SDCC of IG-88, I feel like they could redo it, maybe.
I feel like there's a reason they reissued this one, though.
That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true, because they reissued the Yoda, and then the same year we got the Yoda.
That's true.
I feel like that sounds right.
But he's also just a Glupshido. He's also just a background character for, at least for the original. Oh, and he was barely in Clone Wars, so like, I feel like there's a very low chance at best, right, that we would ever get a new one. And
I agree with you. I'm just saying, I'm still holding out hope, but you're probably right.
Oh yeah. There's always a new hope, but right.
Title. You said it.
But I feel like slim to none. It is cool that we got the jaw articulation. Yeah, that's cool, and the details are great. He standing there, he looks cool. Like that's why I kind of have him doing this pose with the blaster like this.
For a while, he was one of my favorite figures in the line for a long time.
I mean, visually, he looks great.
Yeah,
but I might end up getting the Mafex. Whenever that one releases, but I don't know why the gods have punished me, and they just say that everything cool that you're going to get delivered is going to be delivered the day after you record the podcast.
That's okay, because now I won't not have something that you have, because we'll both have it by the time we do the next
episode. That's true. We'll both have the Maul and Speeder next episode, but I should have it today. Yeah. So that's it for Fine Editions. Quick segment, because I got last episode, I had a ton, and I feel like we all had quite a bit, but now this one, I only have the one, and you have a couple. Quick plug right before we jump into the listener emails. I just want to say that our birthday episode is going to be coming up. We celebrate our birthday podcast every September, so I think we'll be recording on the 22nd of August, the 5th of September, and then that 19th, that weekend, whatever. We might move that to a Friday or Saturday because we like to have our Patreon members on for the birthday.
Sure.
So me and Mike have not talked about this yet.
No, you're bringing it up. I totally forgot.
Yeah,
our birthday was coming up. Yeah.
Our birthday episode will be that weekend, September 19th or 20th, and then probably the Friday night, so more people are able to join. Wouldn't you say Friday or Saturday night?
Yeah, probably. I would say
of that weekend. Night, yeah. So we'll hammer that down, and we'll give details whenever we come to a final conclusion. But if you're a Patreon member,
we have a fun night where people just kind of come on. Yeah.
Yeah, Patreon members can join us for 10, 15 minutes at a time, and whoever comes on last, can probably stay and close the show with us. It's always a fun time. We like to have new people on every year. So if you're a Patreon member, I want to join, mark your calendar to be free that weekend. And then if you want to join Patreon, go to patreon.com/blackseriescantina. We have a budget for every tier, 2, 5, 11. And there's even a deluxe VIP spot open up if you want to have your own show with Mike and I, or Mike or one of us every month. So if you want to do that.
It all helps because it's not free to do a podcast.
It is not. It is not.
It's not free.
There are fees.
I just had to buy a new microphone because my old one died.
That is true. So if you want to support the show on a financial level, if you're able to, Black Series Cantina on Patreon is the place to be. But now we can jump into listener emails, and I want to give a shout out to our listeners because they have been keeping this alive, and it is flourishing because we actually have 6 emails to get through, which is quite a bit. So if you want your email read on the show, and if you want to keep this segment alive, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. Let's start with, I think Commander Cook has sent in an email every podcast we've done it. So go follow Commander Cook on Instagram. He says, do you think we'll ever get more Black Series sequel figures? And what is your number one most wanted sequel figure? I feel like it's
Great question.
It's too hard to ignore. They can't ignore them for too long because TBC just recently got a Finn from Force Awakens, so I feel like we're like sooner or later we're gonna get 1, maybe 2. But Mike, what's your number one most wanted sequel figure right now?
Oh man, I think a lot of it is from my least favorite sequel movie, and that's The Rise of Skywalker. But I definitely like. I can't decide on just one, but I want a Finn and Poe from that movie. I also want the rest of the Knights of Ren. Like,
where are they at?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a great question. Where are they at? I think if I had to choose one, I would choose probably Poe because I think he looked cooler than. No, switch that. If I had to choose one,
Blue Pants Finn.
It'd be Blue Pants Finn because I think he looked cooler than Poe with his little ascot scarf thing. But I just also. I think Finn is due for like a good figure. I don't think he's had a proper good figure yet.
Yeah, I mean the best Finn is probably the Stormtrooper with the blood on the helmet, and that's just the Stormtrooper. Yeah,
it's also not a great figure in itself, you know. Paragon. Okay, you know what? I'm changing my answer. Shirtless
Kylo for sure. Yeah, 25 is the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens, but it's also the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. So hopefully they go hard on Revenge of the Sith, and then we get a couple Force Awakens. Like I would be so down for like a new sculpted Rey, and especially Poe from Force Awakens, because that's
a new Poe from Force. Yeah. Go back and kind of like try to cleanse your sins, Hasbro. Like fix those issues.
But my number one most wanted sequel figure for the Black Series is Crate Luke by far. I feel like it's
for sure.
Probably or honestly, like the Island Luke. Yeah. Like that would be cool. That'd be a cool look. Like
the Hermit look.
Yeah. But Crate Luke is the number one. I feel like it's such an important look for Luke in that era. For sure. And we don't have it. It kind of seems like the obvious choice. But I would appreciate the question. Yeah, go ahead.
I would like I would like a Luke based on the flashback, but have both a regular head and like an evil head, like one.
Like a mean mug head. Yeah,
the one from the real situation, and the one from like Kylo's perspective, where Luke looks all crazed and evil. I would like that. That would be fun.
That'd be cool. So we got another email from Piggleman. He says, "Thanks for all your SDCC coverage. This year has been nonstop with all the fire releases. What a great time to collect this line." I agree. Mike and I both agree to that statement. I wanted to ask you both a question. What's the figure that a majority of the fan base dislikes, but you think is actually a pretty decent figure? He said he'll go first and say that his is the Magna Guard. After using the hairdryer to fix the warped legs, he's actually grown to enjoy it quite a bit. Interested to hear what yours are. All right, what's your answer, Mike?
Hands down, without a question, Constable Zuvio.
Zuvio? Yeah, that's a good one.
he got a lot of flack, and I admit I gave him a lot of flack because he wasn't in the movie, and people are like, feel like he's a wasted slot or whatever. But when you just look at him, he's a good figure. Like, he has a lot of great detail. He's a lot of great sculpt. He's a fun alien that can be in the background. 100%. He's still on my shelf. I didn't take him off.
Yeah, I think mine would probably be the Archive 501st Clone Trooper, obviously because I have 11 of them up here.
You do have a lot.
But I mean, honestly, if they nailed the color and gave them some proper weathering on the 3.0, I would replace all of them. It's just the 3.0 one we got, I wasn't that big of a fan of.
Sure.
But the other one, if I had to pick a different one, it would be probably, honestly, the original Boba Fett, because I think visually it still looks cool, and he's just standing there in my Jabba's palace, so I don't have to have a bunch of articulation.
Why is the original Boba Fett standing in your Jabba's palace?
Look, it's
wrong outfit, man.
Special edition,
Fake
Star Wars
fan.
77. All right, Star Wars 77 special edition.
When I was making my list today, I put Boba Fett on there, and then because I'm like, oh, we need a new Boba Fett, and I looked at him like, wait a minute, he's in his Return of the Jedi outfit in A New Hope before Empire Strikes Back. He's wearing the wrong outfit.
But yeah, I mean, I don't mind that figure too much. I definitely want an updated one, but I don't mind it as much.
Sure.
I wouldn't pay full price for it's like a Mafex or SH Figuarts Boba Fett or something. I know it's a great figure, but I'm gonna put it in the exact same pose, and I'm just like, I'm not sure if it's worth the upgrade for me. There. Anyways, yeah, and like the paint on it's great. It looks visually like it looks stunning. Pickleman, thanks for the question. As always, we're gonna jump to the next one here from Edmund Lee. He says, hello, I'm a devoted Black Series collector and have over 200 figures. I also look for SH Figuarts and Mafex figures to mix in the collection. I feel some figures and likeness are done so well with these companies. For example, the SH Figuarts Luke, Leia, and Han from A New Hope. Do you guys have any SHF and Mafex figures mixed into your collection? By the way, I love the podcast. Keep up the amazing work. So I have the Return of the Jedi SHF Vader, and what's the other one I have? I have the SHF Anakin leading my 501st Clone Troopers. And I think that might be the only two SHF Star Wars I have. And then, but yeah, mixed in the collection, it's those two for Star Wars. And then I have a bunch of SHF Dragon Ball, and then in it, and I thought it was SHF, but somebody told me it was like a Medicom or Mafex Spider-Man. I have no clue what it is. It just looks cool. It's an Iron Spider. He's shiny. I don't really care. It looks great. But, yeah, so I have a couple. I dabble. I don't go hard or anything, but the reason I bought the SHF Vader is because I wasn't that big of a fan of the updated Episode 6 Black Series Vader that was on the card, like out of the packaging. But I love it on the box. I just don't love it as a Return of the Jedi Vader out of the box. And I think the SHF Vader is really nice, except for the cape. I really need a new cape because it's terrible. And I know, Mike, you don't really have any SHF Star Wars anything, do you? You have like one or two, don't you?
I have R2 and C-3PO that one of my subscribers to my YouTube channel sent me a long time ago, but I don't have them mixed in by any means. I don't have anything against people that do it. I just don't like to do it. Like it feels weird. I also do have a couple of SHF DBZ figures, and then I also have Boba Fett from the Book of Boba Fett SH Figuarts that I had on my shelf, and then I took it off and put it back in the box, and I'm probably going to sell it at some point. But yeah,
is that the one with the throne?
No. It's the first one with the baggy pants.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I guess it's from the Mandalorian, not Book of Boba Fett. So
I do have the reissue SHF C-3PO because I want that like vac metal look. They're really shiny. I don't know if it's vac metal. I don't know what it is, but it's nice and shiny, and it's shinier than the Black Series version, of course. So I do have that on pre-order. The Ami, I think.
I like having both the C-3PO and R2, and I have them. Those like little light up Star Wars signs that everyone has. I have that hanging on my wall, and I use it as a shelf for that, specifically that 3PO and R2, and I think they look really good as like a little display on there kind of by themselves.
Yeah, that is nice. All right, next question from Xavier. Hello, Mike Zap. Hope Zach. I said my name is Zap. Hello, Mike and Zach.
You know your name?
Hope you're both well. My question is, where do you see the Black Series line in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you see the line expanding to new heights? If that's with dioramas, playsets, Hasbro Pulse made-to-order figures, obscure characters, HasLabs, new sublines, and character selection, how would you each want the line to pan out moving forward as well? Keep up the great work as always, Xavier. So I think there's always going to be sublines. So, we have this constant rotation of credit collection, holocom collection, carbonize. They're always going to come up with something for the repaints. And, I honestly don't mind it too much, because if that's what they have to do to make sure that they make money and are able to give us new sculpted figures, by all means, the completionists who want to fund that, go right ahead. I'll pick up the select one or two, but those completionists can fund our new figures. As far as the future, as far as like new heights, like dioramas, I don't see them doing dioramas or playsets, especially for Black Series, but I do see them continuing with this small vehicles trend that we got going, like the Darth Maul speeder and the STAP. I think that's really promising for Black Series, so I'm really hoping the next 5 years, every convention or whatever, or PulseCon or whatever it is, like maybe every other one, they can squeeze in a small vehicle or something like that. And I think that's what they should do, rather than doing what they did with the bar, because I thought that was pretty whack, especially when you can print the Landspeeder Luke one, and the updated Landspeeder Luke bar, is fabulous. I'm almost done with that. Mike, where do you kind of see the next 5 or so years going?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I think the closest in the Black Series line will really ever get to dioramas from Hasbro are the centerpiece line that they made like 4 of and then dropped because they weren't that popular. Yeah. And I get what they were going for. They were going for something that you could have on your shelf that has lights and something in a dynamic pose, and then you accentuate it with your own figures. Like, it's a neat concept, but also
not all action figure collectors want statues.
Yeah, I agree.
I want something I can pose and articulate, all of that.
With your figures.
Yeah, that's true.
You're supposed to be able to put your figures on there to build out a display. And it was a neat idea, but I think maybe doing that without a statue on there, like why not have a Death Star corridor with the explosions you could light up, but then you put your own figures on it? Like, just remove that figure.
That'd be great, yeah.
From the display, that had.
I'd be in on that.
Maybe they could revisit that. Yeah, maybe they could revisit that. I thought it was a cool idea. They had the Kylo Ren with the freezing the blaster bolt, and if they could have that where you put your own Kylo Ren on there, or better yet, it comes with the Kylo Ren that you can use for there. That's
if it comes with a figure.
Yeah, but then you can have the blaster bolt that you remove or something. There's options and stuff. I think that was a kind of a neat idea, because they weren't full-on huge display bases. They were just they were centerpieces. It's like a little kind of scene that you build yourself. So I think that had potential. I just didn't think it was executed very well. So if they wanted to give that another shot, maybe make it more specified for figures instead of being like a statue that you can accessorize.
Yeah, have it mixed with the current Black Series and not be something that seems like it's a different line almost,
Yeah.
It's kind of like what they did whenever they did that, the Starkiller base. They had the figure Kylo Ren, but they had the statue Rey. Make that Rey a figure, but have it come with that diorama, and then it probably would have been more popular.
Yeah. I mean, it was weird that one came with an actual figure, and I didn't realize that it came with an actual figure for a long time. So yeah, I think that's a good idea that Hasbro could revisit, but I think I feel like over the next 5 years, we're probably going to see them, as the prequels collectors become more vocal. I think they're going to start focusing on that more, mixed in with OT and then new media, kind of like what we're seeing. I can't think of anything like groundbreaking that we're gonna get. I feel like we've kind of plateaued in terms of what they could do. I would like to see more figures come with like ball joint wrists and the double hinge shoulders that some of them have been coming with. I'd love to see them, yeah. I'd love to see them come with like wired capes instead of just regular soft goods. But if they keep going the way they're going and just release characters that I want to buy, I'm good.
I would also like to see maybe Pulse exclusive accessory packs in the next couple of years. I think that would be cool for the line.
Yeah, soft goods, lightsabers. Like, but you know what? give us an Ahsoka pack.
Soft goods, cloak. Multiple sabers. Yeah. Yeah. Not only do you got to buy the $24.99 figure, you got to buy the $12.99 accessory pack for the cloak.
Give us the cloak by itself for both Shin and Balin and the new Ahsoka. Like, I would pay, $20 for that if they gave us some random accessories to go with it. Maybe a lot of that.
Don't give them any ideas.
No, that's a good idea.
They're gonna start doing like, oh, you gotta buy the figure, and then you gotta buy the figure accessory pack, which have the cloak. No, you'll get the hilt with the figure, but you'll get the blade with the accessory.
Oh no, I don't want that. No,
don't give them any bad ideas.
Although, I mean, replacement lightsabers would be cool. So like, if your Ahsoka takes a shelf dive, hey, you could just buy the replacement sabers from the pack, something like that. Or they could give us separated hilts and then a fully constructed lightsaber, so we don't have to worry about like removing the lightsaber blade. Because, anyways,
figures are gonna have DLCs. We're gonna have figure DLCs one day.
Listen, I would rather them do that. That's what accessory packs are. I would rather them do that than release a whole new figure with stuff it should have come with in the first place. So I feel like I have to buy the figure all over again, or just be okay with not having that accessory. Like, I would much rather Hasbro make money selling little accessory packs like that.
Yeah, and so that actually leads into this next question we have here from Sam. Hey guys, I wanted to first say thanks for an awesome podcast. I just recently started listening in the spring, and I've looked forward to your shows every other week. Anyway, your last episode got me thinking about a repaint I've been wanting to see in the line since we saw the Ahsoka finale. How would you guys feel about a 2-pack of the Ahsoka, the white, with the cloak, and Morgan Elsbeth with the face markings and Sword of Talzin? I know that would be a day one pre-order for me, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Have a great week, and thanks again, Sam. I think I'd be in on that. I think that's a really cool look for a Morgan Elsbeth with the sword.
100%.
And then Ahsoka with the cloak. I didn't pre-order the Ahsoka they just revealed for SDCC because it didn't have the cloak, so I'm kind of waiting for the one with the cloak, so I would pre-order that day one for sure.
Yep. That would be an instant pre-order, even though I already have, I have the Ahsoka the white on pre-order because I pre-ordered the whole case that she's in. But I would buy another one just to get that Morgan and a cloak. But for me, the Morgan would be more important. I would love a Morgan that has the blade of Talzin with all the markings and stuff.
With all the face markings, that'd be a sick look for. That'd be a lot better than the current one we have that came with how many accessories?
Trash.
Zero
accessories.
Yeah, that would be one of those figures you just instantly remove from the shelf. Like, I don't need 2 looks of Morgan Elsbeth, but I would easily replace the current one.
And that's the cooler look anyway, let's be honest.
Yeah. So, Sam, thanks for the question. And then our last question comes from Stan. Hello there. Thanks for the amazing show. I figured I should do my part and try to keep the emo segment alive, so I've got a couple questions.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Do you think they should separate the role play items and the figures? If so, why should they keep the figures called the Black Series? So I think they should. I think they should separate. I think they should separate them. It is weird how like the role play HasLabs kind of they call them the Black Series role play. Like they just need a new collection line, like a new, but they're just like coattailing. They're trailing the Black Series branding. They want that out there. So I think it is weird how they're both like whenever they started that role play thing, they're the Black Series lightsabers, the Black Series helmets. Like kind of weird in my opinion, but I understand.
Well,
it from a
originally
marketing
they
perspective.
were the lightsabers were the was the Force FX
Yeah.
lightsabers that they were their own thing, and then like they rolled them into Hasbro, and then they rolled that into Black Series. I definitely think the reason that the figure should say the Black Series is because the figures started the Black Series. Like,
Yeah.
when they came out, it was the 3.7 inch, 7.5 inch Black Series and 6 inch Black Series. With the 6 inch Black Series, were the star of the show. Like that was the new cool thing. Like 3.75 inch Star Wars figures have existed since 1978. Like that wasn't anything to write home about. It was the 6 inch scale that was. So that's, to me, that's synonymous with Black Series, especially now that they've stopped 3.75 and made that back to just TBC. So that, like, Black Series should always be 6 inch figures. That's what it is. And then they should push away role play items, make it Force FX, make it Elite Series, make it, I don't know, like something
Whatever,
else.
yeah.
Name it. I don't care.
Collector series
Collector
or
series,
whatever
yeah.
it is. Prop series, whatever they want to call it.
Prop series, yeah, prop master. I don't know. Like, there's so many lifelike series. Well, I guess they already tried hyperreal, but like, there's so many things that they could call it, just so I don't have to have it mixing in with my beloved Black Series, because there's nothing 6 inch scale about it. It's not an action figure. So like the thing that bugs me the most is everyone goes, oh well, Black Series already had 2 HasLabs that didn't, like, no, we've had one, and then we had a lightsaber. That's not Black Series.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not Black Series.
So this isn't part of Stan's question. He has a second part of the question, but I'm kind of going to throw one in the middle here. If Hasbro told you had to rebrand the 6 inch collection from Black Series, what would like the title and theme? Maybe that's a segment for like its own segment for a future podcast. But like coming up with alternative names for the 6 inch line, the Saga Collection 6 inch, because if you think about the Black Series, it is kind of like it's just focused on the characters. So I feel like that would kind of have, rather than play sets, I feel like that would kind of have to play a part.
Would you imagine how angry people would be? Because there'd be new packages, there'd be new numbering systems. They're like,
our name, our podcast title.
Yeah, we'd have to change so much.
We'd have to be like the Saga Collection 6 inch Cantina, like something stupid. I honestly feel like we'd have to keep it because it'd be like an homage to the original.
It would have
6 inch line.
Well, because there's other things, like there's the classified series for GI Joe, the Indiana Jones' Adventure series.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it'd be something dumb like the Force series or Power of the Force. Why not? Just full
Power of the
circle.
Force.
Power of the Force. Power of the Force 3.
Man, Hasbro did really try to get greedy there and make like this weird 7.5 inch, 8 inch scale on top of the 3.75 and the 6 inch.
But that was also under the Black Series banner. So
yeah, it was. Yeah. Could you imagine if that would have stuck?
I'm glad it didn't.
Yeah, the Vader is cool. Even though I don't own it, the Vader does look cool from afar.
They both look
from
cool
what I've seen.
afar. Yeah.
And then there was the rumored Rey, like that never got put into production for Hyperreal. That was gonna be the third one. All right, so moving on to Stan's second part of his question. Also, if each of you were approached by Hasbro to design the next Black Series HasLab, what would you go with? What would be the funding goal, and what would you do for the tiers? So mine is easy. I would do the episode 3, this right here. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, this right here. I would do Anakin's episode 3 Interceptor, Black Series 6 inch scale. I think tiers. I know Sebastian, our guest from the last podcast, did a great breakdown on his Instagram. I've made a TikTok video about this, and it did pretty good numbers, so go check that out. But I think tiers, I think you could do blast effects, battle damage, a stand, buzz droids. Obviously, I think it would have to include Anakin and then the dome for R2. I don't necessarily think you would need a full R2 figure. I don't even know, like, visually if it could fit. Because I know the actual prop for the movie just had R2's dome, right? Because he disconnect or whatever it is.
There's not a lot of room in there. Yeah,
it's movie magic where you don't think about it. It's like if it came out today, people would be like, "Are you kidding me right now? How's R2 fit right there?"
There's no way those pit droid bodies fit up in that little dome. There's just no way,
Oh no, yeah. So, but yeah, I would do this. The Episode 3 Interceptor would be my number one choice. Mike, what would your HasLab choice be?
Now, hear me out.
Uh-oh. It starts with "hear me out." It's about to be far-fetched. Death Star.
What if they tried a Rancor?
Oh, that's different. That's unique.
Maybe it came with Malakili as a pack-in.
Late?
I think
2 days before it ended?
Yeah. I mean, no. Wait, what are you talking about? This is my original idea.
Okay, yeah, okay. Are you sure you wouldn't do it and they'd probably just 2 days before it ended be like, you know what, let's put in the Malakili? You sure that wouldn't happen?
No, I feel like we could just include Malakili in there. I think the tiers could be maybe a really nice, high quality print cardboard with some bones. Maybe a whole ass Gamorrean garb, which is a deluxe figure. Maybe Jabba's Palace Luke Skywalker would be pretty cool.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty nice. I think that'd be a good campaign.
I think I'd be in.
I'd probably try to price it around $300, and then whatever the backer goal they need to. I don't know their financials.
8,000, 9,000, maybe give or take.
11 if they're keeping it under 300. I don't know what the logistics are there. I'm not Mr. Hasbro accountant. I think that'd be pretty cool. If they tried that, for sure.
They should definitely give that a shot. I think
give it a shot.
It would at least come within 500 of backing, just from off the top of my head. It'd be close at least. Yeah, worst case scenario, it would get there would be less than 500 people that decided not to. You know what I mean? It'd get close.
Be close.
And that's worst case scenario. It might. I feel like a lot of people would back it right at the first day, and then 2 weeks in, some Instagram people will convince them to delete it, and everybody cancels it. And once they see your little, what idea did you have? Some bones in a cardboard tee? You're like, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's better than say the patches that the the Rattler comes with, or I think the one of the Ghostbusters thing came with a little journal that you could write your feelings down in. I'm just saying, there's been some bad tiers before, but tiers
but Star Wars fans, man. Yeah. Star Wars fans.
Tiers are just little add-ons to me. I think the Rancor would be the real prize.
The Rancor is almost the perfect Black Series HasLab.
It really. I do think now, for real though, I think an ATSD would be really doable because it's more vertical than it is horizontal. So it's good for displaying. I feel like there's a lot of stuff it could come with. I mean, what better way to get an ATST driver in there? Maybe one with a Han Solo face, since he disguised himself as an ATST driver to do the little video thing. I think, I don't know, maybe an Ewok or so with the little vine to trip it. Maybe some rocks and logs. Maybe a Chewbacca,
or whatever Ewok flies the
glider.
The glider.
I feel like the glider should be its own thing. I don't feel like they could really do a whole ass glider and Ewok as a tier. I think
that would be a total of one figure.
Yeah, but it would be more like a Pulse like a PulseCon exclusive.
Yeah, yeah.
They might release it around the time to kind of come out with it.
It'd be a pipeline.
At
the same time.
Yeah, it would be how they did the Ghost, and then they were also we'll do Sabine and Chopper or whatever separate.
Well, it's with the Cantina. They said, and we're gonna do too. Luke and Han or whoever.
They pipelined a bunch of stuff to go with it that's separate. Absolutely. So it would be something like that. But I think there's enough there. And I know I keep going to Return of the Jedi, but I feel like that's just, like I said, kind of that perfect thing where it's not too big, but it's a good display piece. I would love it if it had lights on it. That's my favorite part about the Hiss tank is the lights, and it's so stupid, but it's such a little thing that just makes it feel premium. And I think that's the big thing, is the feeling like it's a premium display piece that really was missing from like the Rancor. Obviously the Rancor is going to be big, but I feel like it was missing just something.
Marketing. It was missing some marketing.
That's what it was. It was it was right there.
It was right there.
It was marketing.
You know, maybe the first time we saw it, it shouldn't have been a grayscale render.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, we're going down this rabbit hole again. All right, let's move on.
Anyway,
let's move on.
Yeah. Great question.
Right, so,
Thank you. Thank you for the emails. Keep this segment alive. Send us. If you have a question at 2 a.m. and you're like, oh, I've got to ask Zach and Mike about that, like, do it. Send it. We'll answer it.
Yeah, and we've never skipped an email. We've done every email we've gotten. So blackseriescantina@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We appreciate all the emails, especially on episodes like this when there's not a ton of Black Series news or rumors out there to go over. And we need content, and you all can help us in any way you can. Also, they don't even have to be questions; they can be statements. Nope. You know, if you want to get your opinion out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to, you know,
or you just want to make a statement on your own. You want your voice on the podcast. Do it.
Do you think we have listeners that have never seen us? Like they've never even seen you on YouTube?
They have no idea what we look like.
They have because I listen to podcasts and I have no idea what those people, and I've been listening for years. I've never looked them up on Twitter.
That's a good point.
You know, but I download the podcast. So I wonder if there's people out there that have no.
Statistically, it gotta be. Like we have.
Yeah, shoot us an email. Who do you think is more handsome? If you don't know what we look like, shoot us an email. Explain to us what you think we look like by the sound of our voices, and we'll go over it on the podcast. All right, moving on to the news segment. The very little news we have. There was a Black Series leak though, which was pretty interesting, and we have the elephant guy from the Elephant Kid. Minimum Rebo, as somebody on Twitter called him, and I thought that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
What's so this Neil or something like that?
I have no idea personally. I have no idea, but this is like one of the kids. It's the elephant-looking kid from Skeleton Crew. For those people listening, if you want to watch along with us, not watch along the show, but if you want to view our screen, join the Patreon.
He's the same species as Max Rebo. I love his little hair. He has like parted hair.
Yeah. Yeah. His hair is looking slick. The detail, nice wrinkles in here. This was posted on a Facebook group by someone. So we're getting more leaks, kind of, unfortunately. I mean, this isn't one that kind of ruins it, but...
It kind of does, but I'm not going to complain every time, because it's one of those things. Like, I've made my stance on these leaks known. They're not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm also not going to ignore them. I'm not going to take some weird moral high road of going like, we shouldn't be seeing these yet, so I'm not going to comment on them. Like, that's not helpful. Nobody wants to hear my non-opinion on it. I'm going to give my opinion on it. But do I prefer them not to leak? Sure. But I'm not going to say that every time there's a leak.
Yeah.
If people get tired of it.
Like, I don't mind this.
Yeah.
I kind of did, like, as great as it is, like, for content and stuff, the Savage Opress leak kind of annoys me a little bit. Like, it's great knowing he's coming, but it kind of takes the... Like, it's going to be cool whenever we see it, but I feel like it would have been even more hype if it's like, boom, revealed Savage Opress. And it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. But now it's like, oh, Savage Opress is coming, and we saw... It's
kind of surprising how many people still don't know, though. Like, I've seen people post on, like, Facebook, like, where's the Savage reveal? When are we going to get Savage? I'm like... How do you not know we're getting one? Like, why don't you pay attention? Like a little attention, just a little bit of attention. Like,
I've been milking the leaks on TikTok, and people were commenting like, "I had no idea there was a Savage Opress. We're getting Savage Opress." I'm like, "Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago, buddy.
It's like a month ago now."
Yeah, yeah.
Where have you been?
So I imagine
You should be listening to Black Series Cantina. That's where you are. You should be listening to this podcast you're currently listening to. You should be listening to it.
Listen to it again next episode. For
Don't
sure.
listen to it twice. Our numbers are down.
It's crazy. These leaks just started avalanching out of nowhere, and now it just doesn't seem to stop. It finally seems like since Garoba left, we're not getting as many, because I don't know if that Chinese website, has posted any. I guess I know Lance Luke's been checking that, so we'll have to wait for a report on that. But it just seems like leaks started avalanching in the Black Series, and who knows if they're going to stop. It's kind of crazy.
They flew too close to the sun. I think someone got a little cease and desist, or maybe got a visit from Pinkertons or something. I feel like they got a little greedy. They delved too deep and too greedily, and they unleashed the Balrog.
Yep. And I know, how do I want to put this? I just feel like whenever Yakface would post, at least Yakface isn't posting the pictures of the figures, but remember when he would post the entire reveal the day before.
The day before, yeah.
That he's
better about that, yeah.
Yeah, he's got better, but that really took the sail, the wind out of the sails for some of the people in the Hasbro team.
Yeah.
And I have talked to somebody from Hasbro about the leaks lately, and he basically said they're not happy. So, but yeah,
let's. Why would they be?
Yeah.
No, why would they be happy? Good. Oh, good. That surprise got leaked. I'm so glad it's out there. Why would they be happy?
Yeah, maybe they're like, "Ooh, this. I'm glad it got leaked because so we can."
Maybe they're trying to gauge the excitement on Shizor. So they were like, "No, leak it
right now."
Big. I need to know if it's going to be popular or not.
Let's show him Savage and then not give it to him. Let's bait him in. Tomorrow, you're probably listening to this on Saturday, so really yesterday.
Oh, yeah, so it'll already be out, yeah.
But D23 is this weekend, and I guess do you think we'll get a Skeleton Crew trailer? Or what do you think we'll get out of that?
Oh, no, for sure. We're getting a Skeleton Crew. I mean, we got pictures.
At least a sneak peek, right?
So yeah, little sneak peek pictures from a magazine. I think it was Entertainment Weekly or so. I don't remember, but the pictures, I think they look fun. I don't think the show is going to be what people expect from a Star Wars show. I think it's going to be like a Stranger Things kind of thing, where it's going to be centered around kids. And they already said that.
Yeah.
It is. So I think people should temper their expectations coming into here. I don't think it's going to be this galaxy spanning, mind blowing, Mandalorian type epic battle show where there's lots of gunfights and stuff. I think it's going to be a fun classic adventure, but centered around kids. It looked like they were walking space huffies for little hover huffies.
Yeah.
The kids look cute. The little Ortolan Max minimum Rebo guy. Excuse me, the minimum Rebo guy looks cute. Jude Law looks cool. There's a cool droid that hangs out with them. I just want something fun. I want something that's just fun to watch. That's all I care about. And I think it looks like it could be cool. But we'll see when the trailer comes out.
I haven't been excited about it, ever since they announced it and they announced the premise of it.
Same.
It's still, I'm gonna watch it. I enjoyed Stranger Things enough, but that also kind of had a darker tone at times.
Sure.
I'm just not sure how. Yeah, I'm just not sure how excited I can get over watching a bunch of kids be the main actors. But I hope Jude Law crushes it.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't excited for Andor until we got that first trailer, or even the second trailer. Just knowing that it was going to exist wasn't enough to get me excited. So, but that's one of my favorite Star Wars things ever to Star Wars. So we'll see. We'll see when the trailer comes out. Our tones might change, but I just want it to be enjoyable.
And then, as of right now, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Darth Maul and Sith Speeder is still available on Hasbro Pulse. So if you want to get the vehicle, strike now before it increases to double the price on eBay and you miss out.
It did sell out.
it sold out. The first 2 runs, I think, sold out or whatever it was. And then now, I guess they posted a lot. So it's still in stock right now. So
you know what's interesting about that? None of the other ones are out of stock either, except for the G.I. Joe one, the Once a Man Cobra Commando, where he's like half transforming into a snake.
Did you pick that one up?
No, I have no interest in it. I just have zero interest in that Cobra Commander. But it's hands down, like, from what I understand, it was the one that was consistently selling out fast at Comic-Con. Like, it's sold out within a minute or two when it went up on Monday morning.
That's impressive.
And then it's been up a couple times, but just for pre-order, like not even like in stock ready to ship, just pre-orders. And they sell out within minutes. Like it is flying. So kind of interesting, but no interest for me.
I really hope the Sith Speeder does really well, because I want to show Hasbro that we Black Series collectors will support small vehicles. So I am praying that it doesn't hit the clearance like the Starkiller set did, which, is pretty unfortunate. The Starkiller set ended up being like $49.
Well, that one also sold out initially too, though. I think it was just like the second run they did that went on clearance. So I don't want to pretend like that wasn't popular at all, but it did. I feel like they did overproduce it. Like once they saw how popular it was, they were like, well, let's make a bunch. And then it didn't sell as well.
Also,
after that.
I don't think it's helping that we know there's a single release mall coming, and
also
there's a 3-pack out there, and there's a 3-pack of that mall. So there's a lot of people who are just sticking with the or going to get the 3-pack or the single pack, or they don't want the vehicles in Black Series. So, but hopefully it does well. And Pizza the Hut asks, how many staps are you planning on getting? I'm in on at least 2. I'm in on at least 2 of those. I'm hyped for the stab. Are you more excited for the stab or the Darth Maul speeder, Mike? That's a good question.
Probably the stab.
I think I'm more excited about the stab as well, because I'm actually keeping the Maul. I'm going to keep that one in package because I love the homage to the original, and I'm going to bank on them eventually releasing a movie accurate version. And even if they don't, I'm still good with keeping that one in box. I think it's like an amazing piece. But I think I'm more hyped for the staff because it is more of like an in-universe type look. And then next up on the news, we have Yakface posted that apparently there's going to be a new Black Series pre-order on Tuesday, August 13th at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
That's so early.
But usually these morning pre-orders, it's going to be like probably Deidre. It's probably going to be that case of figure, or the ones we don't have yet that were revealed.
Yeah.
It's usually like something like that, or like it's either going to be that or like an old like GameStop exclusive or something that randomly gets put on Fan Channel or whatever, because that's happened before. But I feel like it's going to be Deidre. Like, what are the ones that we weren't able to pre-order the other week? It's like Deidre and
the new Cassian.
Cassian, yes, it'll probably be those 2 or one of those 2.
Yeah.
Which leads into the next bit I had on our show notes here. I kind of wanted to go over not necessarily everything we're getting in the rest of 2024, but the next full waves. So if Yakface is correct, November 2024 is the wave of Grand Admiral Thrawn, the Pretty Ahsoka, Imperial Armored Commando, the single pack Darth Maul, Cassian Andor, and Deidre Miro.
The Pretty Ahsoka.
The Pretty Ahsoka?
I heard the Pretty Ahsoka. Instead of Peridia, I heard the Pretty Ahsoka.
The no cloak Pretty Ahsoka.
Yeah.
It's like, that one.
Pretty about it.
And then Cassian Andor and Deidre to round that wave out. So I think it's going to be those 2 on that Tuesday, or one of those 2.
Yeah.
And then
I have that whole case on pre-order from
you already have
Entertainment.
And then we have the next 2024 wave is a full Skeleton Crew wave. Apparently, it's 6 figures. And then there's a January 2025 wave, which is Basil, Vernicerote, and then 3 figures we don't know as of right now. So if Yakface is accurate, we're gonna get slammed with some figures the second half of this year and early next year. So,
well, I think
prepare
a lot
your
of
wallets.
it was that like we're missing a wave from the beginning of the year, and I'm pretty sure that was going to be the
Skeleton Crew. Yeah,
because that got pushed back to December, and it was supposed to come out already. We're like the show was supposed to be out either early this year or late last year, so that really kind of threw a wrench in Hasbro's release plans. So now we had like a huge lull at the beginning of the year, which honestly could explain why they pushed back Kiadi Mundi, because they knew there was going to be a lull towards that time. So they waited to release it to when there was going to be a lull. I mean, I'm not saying that's what happened, but it would make sense.
It's plausible. I mean, I could see that being a reason. Yeah. It's plausible. So yeah, prepare your wallets because we're going to get slammed in the second half of 2024. It always seems like the second half of the year is whenever they really just hammer your wallet away.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Which we're both shills here. So, you know, Hasbro, I'm going to open up my wallet. I'll give you my card number. Just send me the figgies. You can have all my money. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to mention that real quick and be sure our listeners are prepared for the onslaught of Black Series coming. And I'm sure there's a lot more exclusives coming. And I know we still have the Darth Vader from Amazon, which I'm really looking forward to. That's the only holocom figure I'm really excited about.
Same.
And, you know, I kind of wanted to mention, I don't have a single thing from SDCC pre-ordered other than the mall that you shipped to me, basically directly from Pulse. I haven't pre-ordered anything from SDCC. I'm kind of waiting on the Imperial Armored Commando because I'm going to get that for like full retail, but I haven't pre-ordered it with anything, and I'm going to get the IG. I haven't felt the need to necessarily pre-order anything right now, so it's kind of a weird feeling like after getting all those reveals but not making a pre-order. I did order, however, the Goku and Gohan with the
the one from the little bumper where he's got like the Gohan in his lap.
Yeah, the one that comes with the flying Nimbus. Yeah, the SDC's exclusive. Yeah. So I'm $200 deep in SH Figuarts figures that I don't have yet because they charge you up front.
Sure.
So I'm still waiting on the full power Frieza, the really buff one. Yeah. That was $100, and the Goku and Flying Nimbus SDCC set, which that's definitely the best Goku, like base Goku they've ever done. And I've been searching for a good one, so I'm like glad, super hyped that they revealed that, and I was able to snag it. So big shout out to Pletho, who's also a big Dragon Ball Z fan and collector. He's a VIP and in our chat right now. Shout out to you for letting me know it went live and I was able to snag it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat, but not with P Bandai, with the Cosmic Legions wave that just got revealed and are up for pre-order. But Store Horsemen, when you order from their site, they charge up front as well. So I have to wait until September 1st, the day it ends, to make sure like I'm not spending money I don't have. Like, yeah, it's gonna be expensive because I want at least 3 things from that stupid wave, if not maybe 4 or 5. I don't know. I might go all in for $300. I don't know.
Well, you know, TVC collectors are $1,000 deep on HasLabs they don't even have right now, which is insane. $1,000 deep on stuff they don't have, which is crazy. But all of us collectors, we got to be a little bit crazy, right, to do what we do. But now it's time to move on to the theme of the episode, which is Star Wars 77, because of course this is Black Series Cantina episode 77. And I know Mike prepared a top 20 wish list from A New Hope.
I'm going to take you through it.
Let's get to it.
I titled this Mike's A New Hope wish list because I assumed we were both going to make one, but now I'm glad that I made one so we have one at all. But I wanted to, like, it's not necessarily a top, because I have 20 figures on here. Actually, I've got maybe 21 figures. But I didn't want to just make them like a top 10. I have them in little sections. So
I like that. Yeah.
The first one is called the Cantina Zone. So these are characters I'd like to see, and these are all specifically from A New Hope, since it's episode 77. 77 is, it's all related. So these are characters that are either related to the Cantina or were in the Cantina. And the first one, who is not in it but was around it, and that is Garindin, also known as Long Snoot for my older expanded universe friends and early collectors. I have always been fascinated with this guy. He's basically just an Imperial guy.
He's a snitch.
He's a snitch.
He deserves stitches.
Oh, he needs stitches, 100%. I had the 3 3/4 inch figure of this guy. I loved it. I love his stupid little nose. I love his goggle face. I love his stupid little hood. Like it's such a dumb looking character. It's such a character that looks like it came from a 70s sci-fi show.
Yeah, and it looks like it would be an amazing Black Series figure, and they just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Maybe the issue is like when he would sit in the package, his nose would be like up against the plastic. Maybe that's what's going on.
Turn his head a little bit. I feel.
Yeah, they could do something. They did Hammerhead.
Yeah, and Pletho's right. He does have a fun little squeaky, buzzy voice, it's like or whatever. Like I can't do it, but yeah.
Do that one more time.
Nope.
Do that. That's got to be clipped. Somebody's got to clip that.
It'll be on the replay. But next, of course, the TVC just got them. I feel like, why not? Let's ride those coattails. And that's the Tonica Sisters. And of course, I would want a 2-pack. I want a 2-pack of the Tonica Sisters.
You know what would be great? If they announce a Tonica Sisters 2-pack for Black Series, and then we end up getting it before TVC. So they had to wait all these They were forced to do a HasLab to back it. And they had to wait all these 40 plus years, and we get it 11 years into the line or whatever we are.
I just figured, you know what?
That'd be hilarious.
It would be so funny, but you know what? We have one. Why not two? The TVC walked so the Black Series could run.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Next, of course, with the Cantina, you need the Cantina bartender. Wooher.
We got to have him. We need him.
You need him.
Because a lot of us have 3D printed cantinas.
Yes. Absolutely. Even if you don't have a 3D printed cantina, I have a cantina. I have a 4th of a cantina. I need a bartender. We have so many cups.
Well, you can have my old cantina once I finish the new one.
Have a cantina.
Unless you want to just print the new one whenever you get a printer eventually.
We'll see. But yeah, definitely we need a Wooher for sure. Next, since my favorite Cantina alien is being made, Boshek is my second. So Hammerhead is my most favorite Cantina alien. He's being made. He's coming out sometime this year, maybe.
Hopefully.
I feel like we haven't heard anything about it.
I know. He's been kind of radio silence ever since.
Yeah. But Boshek, this little 70s looking spaceman guy. I don't know what it is about him. I love space outfits, like flight suits. This guy has a helmet. Like he just cool.
a U.S. like astronaut suit.
Yeah,
with logos taken off and a space helmet. This is about as 70s as it gets,
for sure,
for Star Wars.
Yeah, but I love me some Boshek. I want me some Boshek. And then to kind of go with the 2-pack they made in the 90s, there was I think it was a mail away exclusive, but we need a Mooftak and Cabe.
Yep, that'd be sick.
I love a Mooftak and Cabe.
If you could only get one, which one would it be?
Mooftak, because he's so cool. Cabe, I feel like is an accessory. She's so small. Mm-hmm. I think Cabe is a girl, but I don't know. Like the tall species is always kind of fascinating.
And we could get the Jedi from 2D.
Yeah, also for sure. Yeah, there's so many different things they could do with the mold. And then this is the one on here that I know they'll never do because he's not in the movies anymore. But I cannot leave my homeboy, my favorite Wolfman, Lax Sivrek, on the floor. George Lucas did him dirty.
He did, cutting him out. Yep.
Justice for Lax Sivrek.
I actually want our little shoes to rub it in the TVC to tell TVCers.
I almost put him on here as a 2-pack too, but then I was like, I've got too many figures. When you said we should do 20 figures, I thought, oh man, that's gonna be so hard, but it actually wasn't. I could have filled this with a lot more figures. Because
we should have.
Cantina is.
We should have did the 77 for Star Wars 77.
Could have done 77 figures.
77 figures from Star Wars.
I should.
We should have. Yeah. If you weren't busy and we could actually have put together a list.
Yeah.
If you weren't driving, you were driving, I should have called you. We could have put together.
Maybe in 3 episodes we'll do the same thing for Empire Strikes Back.
For 80, okay.
For 80.
Are there even 80 characters that aren't Imperial officers in Empire? It's gonna be all Imperial figures and like random people on Hawk.
Yeah, I feel like Empire is gonna be a lot harder. Like we could get something out of Bespin, but like there isn't like a. Like you got the Cantina from A New Hope, and you got Jabba's Palace from Return of the Jedi, but there isn't like a hub they go to.
It's like Echo Base, and that's all
Bespin
mostly
and Echo Base, and then Dagobah, and those are like the locations in that movie.
What would actually make Hasbro money? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, so I have a segment on here that's like these are hard sells. Like nobody wants these, but they're important to have.
80 Lobots.
80 Lobots.
There we go.
Let's do it. That's it. 80 Lobots. All right. And this I think would be cool as either a HasLab or like one of those like made to order kind of things, but a Ronto with Jawa. Specifically, I would want it to be packaged like the original
Power of the Force.
Power of the Force 2 release. But I think a Ronto and Jawa would be pretty cool. Mostly because the Ronto isn't that big. Like it's big, but he's not like that big. You know,
he looks like he should be bigger.
Yeah, for sure. He's a little undersized on the 3.25 inch for sure. Yeah, but I feel like they could do it. Maybe give us an all new Jawa, like a new Jawa sculpt or something. I don't know. So I think that'd be pretty cool. I think that does no. Also the Sand Trooper. I didn't know where to put it, but I want a Sand Trooper on the new body mold, specifically a Sand Trooper.
We need it's like long overdue. It's so long overdue on the 2020 Stormtrooper body. It would feed families, like starving children would
easily.
It would fix a lot of problems in America if we had this
easily
on the 2020 body. But we just know the paint wouldn't be as good, so it's kind of
it's kind of
like a do it, you know.
Charge me deluxe. Charge me
deluxe for paint.
Yeah.
Screw me, Daddy Hasbro. Just screw me. Let's do it.
Anyway, that's the Cantina. So these are the necessary hard sells. These are the ones that are they'll probably be like fan channel exclusive because like they're just not going to be super popular to a normal person. Like they're popular to the right person, but not to a normal person. And number 1, we have General Tag.
I'd be in.
Yeah, of course you'd be in. I'd be in. We're going to be in on all of these, but like we're not. We're not the average person. Most people are going to be like,
that's true.
Maybe 10% of the Black Series collectors that'll be like hyped for this, and then most people are like, I don't care about this guy. He has like 5 lines maybe in the movie, if that. Like, and to go with it, of course, we need Admiral T. We need him. We need him. We need some hot Vader choking action. Like.
Honestly, just give us a full table. We need the full table.
So I was kind of going to say that because then, of course, Colonel Yularen here. I have these 3 on there where I feel like they would be a hard sell. Like the average person isn't going to care about these, but the right person is going to care about these. Because they're just, when it comes down to it, they're just old white dudes in uniforms. Like they're not toyetic. They're not fun, but when you want to build a scene out like this, like have someone 3D print a table, like Lance Peter Luke if you want to get on the whatever, you know.
I think I have a file.
Do you?
I have the file, and it's really big. It's really big for the full table and the chairs. And I also have the file.
Just cut it in half and do like a Last Supper kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. And then I also have a file for Tarkin's chair.
Okay.
From Imprint or the other one. I always forget their names if they're not Luke, but I got a couple files. I can, we can be in talks.
Stick around there. Anyway, well, we need some figures to go around that because so far,
Exactly. We need some figures.
We have Tarkin
as well.
and we have Vader from that scene, and that's it. So
you can put Rampart in there.
I could put Rampart in there, that's for sure. And then Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. I feel like
you got them today in fine editions.
Maybe with skin on.
With clothes
I feel like I would love to have them, but like the normal person is not gonna want an Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru action figure. They're just it's not, it's not the target demographics like toyetic figure on their wish list.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably not buying an Aunt Beru Black Series figure.
Why not? I'm probably. What's wrong with Aunt Beru?
I just don't think I need an Aunt Beru on my shelf. Like I do it by factions now. Where am I going to put an Aunt Beru?
You get an Uncle Owen, but you'd forsake Aunt Beru.
Honestly, this is going to be an extremely hot take.
Okay.
I would rather have Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru and a little Luke from the Kenobi show. Rather than Star Wars 77.
If I had to choose, I would 100% agree with you. But unfortunately, this wasn't an Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I get it.
List.
I get that.
But no, if they were like, yes, we'll give you a 2-pack of Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, but it's going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's what I would want it. Because I like those actors' looks better. I feel like they're like, I like that scene where they're like, no, like
they're defending their home. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, for sure. I would. I agree with you.
Now that I think about it, Uncle Owen also. Is he even necessary for Black Series? I'd probably pick up an Uncle Owen.
Is there not? None of these are necessary for Black Series.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a completionist where you just want every character. But
I'd probably pick up Owen though.
I feel like if you pick up Owen, you'd have to pick up Beru.
But you'd have to get Beru. It'd have to be a 2-pack. Like,
exactly.
One doesn't make sense without the other. So
that's why I have them on here. Is like it would be.
You sold me. You sold me.
I did it. I went from no to a yes. That's all. And of course, like give him a blue milk jug and maybe like this little hydrator pot boiling thing. Like a little that. Anyways, also a Biggs Dark Later. It's the same kind of thing. Like nobody really bought Wedge because he's on a terrible body, but like I feel like you need him. I feel like you need Biggs. And then when I was typing his name out, how weird is the name Dark Lighter? It's such a weird.
It's so
name.
odd.
Like, it's meaningless. Like what if he's light darker? Like I'm glad he's Dark Lighter because that sounds better than light darker. But it's such a nonsense combination of words.
Like you can, whenever you think like Star Wars names out loud, you can literally just see like what George is saying is Sky Walker, Dark Lighter, Star Killer. Like what a mind on that George Lucas.
It's fine. I just was typing it out. I'm like, that's just a weird name. And then of course we've got the core characters I saved for last. The characters we need in a line. Obviously, on here I don't have Luke or Leia because they have been pipelined and we know that they're going to be new, so they're not on here. But to go with that, we need an all-new Han Solo.
Absolutely. The one we have is not... It's way too outdated, and they did the Power of the Force, with the updated... face scan and all that, or the updated paint deco, but no, we need a new one. We need a new sculpt. Neck is too long. He needs
butterfly joints, like all that, all the modern articulation things they've got, better sculpting. Han Solo's now overdue, and he's like the odd person out on the shelf. And to go with that, I want a Han and a Luke in Stormtrooper disguise on the new Stormtrooper body. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, this seems like it should have been done years ago. We have the new body.
Years ago. And then this is the last one.
Nice.
This one, I don't know if it's a 2-pack individual, but this rounded it out. I wanted a nice droid set. And I think I forgot the little title card to go in between them. But I want a Treadwell and I want a Gonk. So
Treadwell would be so awesome. All the articulation on that would be so cool.
Yeah, all the little
and have it roll.
Stuff. Yep.
Yeah, that Gonk and Treadwell, those are both excellent picks. Deep cuts there. Deep
cuts. But I feel like, because we have R5 now. If we get an Uncle Owen, we have a new Luke. We got some Jawas. You get the Gonk, you get the Treadwell, you got a nice little scene. You got a nice little scene going on.
Yeah, you can probably 3D print like a sandcrawler wheel, maybe.
Just the wheel setup.
For a background.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't have to be print. It could be a high quality cardboard print, baby. That's all I'm saying. You don't even need a whole 3D printer. You could just high quality cardboard print that.
That is true. That
was back in the day they had the cinema scenes, and one of them was a Uncle Owen, a Luke Skywalker, and a C-3PO, and they had like a cardboard background that clipped onto the base, and that was that. So I feel like they could just do something similar.
Yeah, they probably.
Anyways,
could.
I think there was like 21 figures because some of them were like 2-packs, like the Tonica sisters and the Brew and stuff. But those are the figures. If Hasbro was like, Mike, we're gonna make a New Hope year, if they made those figures, I would be happy.
So I reached out to our Black Series Cantina VIPs in our Instagram VIP exclusive chat. And I'm going to mention the ones that you didn't mention just to get some representation for those characters out there. And we'll see. I can't believe you forgot the Death Star Gunner. Did you put the Death Star Gunner on there? Oh my
God, I did forget the Death Star. Listen, man, I made this list in like a half hour before I had to go pick up my in-laws and take them to the airport. And I'm like, I got to do it now because I won't have time when I get back home. So yes, you're right.
Well, I really fumbled the ball with that.
I fumbled the ball on that one. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove a character and I'm going to put the Death Star Gunner. I'm going to remove Biggs Darklighter. He's
all right.
Not on there anymore.
So all right, that's a good idea. I'm going to name characters you didn't mention and see if you're going to replace any.
Okay. All right.
Captain Antilles.
So he was on my list initially. No, I took him off.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. He's just a nobody character from I don't know. It's fine. I mean, it'd be cool to have him because you could put him with like your Rebel Fleet Troopers and have a squad, I guess. You know what? No. Yeah. Still gonna say no.
General Dodonna.
He was also on my list that I had on there, and I took him off because like. Again, the same comment. He's just an old man in a lab coat.
Yeah,
like
true.
It's just not fun.
What about the Death Star droid?
So Death Star droid, I didn't think about. I would remove Yularen from my list and add him on there.
Smart. All right. What
because,
about?
Like, I feel like he's not pivotal to that scene. Like he's there.
Yeah.
But like we didn't even know that was Yularen for like decades. That was a retcon.
Yeah. So you didn't put Luke and Leia, but you did put a new Han Solo since we're getting a new Luke and Leia. But what about a new Ben Kenobi?
I thought about it, but I feel like the one we have for what you'd want to do with it, it's fine. Like, would I prefer a new one? Yes, but I don't think like same thing with Greedo. Where like, could they make a better one? Yes, but is the old one that bad?
The old one with Greedo's great, yeah.
Right, and I kind of feel the same about the Kenobi, like the especially if you have the one with the digital face printing from the Cantina pack set. Like it's fine. It looks good. I don't know. Could they make it better with like butterfly joints and stuff? Sure, but like I don't think it would really enhance anything on your shelf.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. What about Porkins?
Porkins, I considered, but I did Biggs Darklighter instead of Porkins because I felt like he was Luke's friend, and he has that whole scene in the special edition that they didn't have in the original one where they have the whole conversation. So I went Biggs, but obviously being the way I look, Porkins is my boy. But I reluctantly took him out for Biggs Darklighter. Now Biggs Darklighter isn't even in my list anymore. So,
yeah, true. All right, next up, a new C-3PO.
I hadn't really considered it again because I feel like between all the different C-3PO releases, you can get a decent one in there.
Yeah.
So that wasn't high on my list.
I'm going to look up. I don't know who this character is, so I'm going to look him up before It's like Mio. Who is Mio? Oh, it's a Cantina alien. He's the one with the middle, like the eye in the middle of his forehead.
Oh
like
yeah, I looked at
like
every
a,
Cantina alien, and I chose the ones that I would want the most because I could have honestly I could have a whole list of Cantina aliens. Like I could have 40 Cantina aliens if I wanted to on the whole list. Labria or the Deveronian guy. There's the Danik Jericho or whatever, the vampire dude. There's a 1,000 different characters I could have on there, but I had to pick and choose, and I just went with the ones that I like the best.
All right, last one. What about a new Chewbacca?
So I also thought about doing a new Chewbacca to go along with the new Han Solo. I went back and forth, and he almost made the list, but I felt like I didn't want to get too heavy in redos because I already had Han Solo on there. But if I had to get rid of one to put him on there, I would probably get rid of one of the Cantina aliens. I might get rid of... I don't even remember what Cantina aliens I had on there.
You had Muftak, Cabe,
probably
the Wolfman.
Probably Lax Sivrak, just because I know Lax never gonna get made.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna say I feel like it would be cool if we got 100% a New Hope Darth Vader, because I really want new legs for Darth Vader's, but at the same
you just want a half new Darth Vader,
a half new Darth Vader, but at the same time, the ones we have are still pretty good. The legs are very old, but
the legs are outdated with the old,
but they still function pretty well.
Function just fine. Yeah,
and like they're all black, so you can't really see the pegs too much, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess it's fine. I mean, it would be cool to have one, but
Paragon Gurinden was like the first person on the list. He was like the first person I listed.
Yeah, that is true. So yeah, Star Wars 77. Those are all figures we would like to see. Maybe minus Aunt Beru. I don't know how in I'd be on an Aunt Beru, but if it's a 2-pack, I guess.
I said, man,
guess I'd have to be right
there, knowing it was going to be a hard sell, because like when it comes down to it, it's the same problem that Andor had, where like they're just not very toyetic figures. They're characters of old people that look like they're old from like the 70s. Like they're not cool, but you have to be a really dedicated Star Wars collector to just want every character from the movie in a plastic form.
That is true. So I did. Let's do our Hall of Fame that we do every episode, and I have a suggestion, not a character suggestion, but I say since this is Star Wars 77 themed, we try to pick a figure from A New Hope that can make the Hall of Fame. My only question is, we already have Greedo and the Stormtrooper, and I'm not sure there's anything else in the Black Series from A New Hope Hall of Fame worthy, but we can try to find one. Because the new R2 is too new to make it.
The new R2 is a little too new. Oh man, okay.
And I'm not sure there's anything else from A New Hope that's Hall of Fame worthy.
How about Figrin Dan or Nayland Cheel?
Ooh, that's an excellent suggestion. Oh, Tarkin. Tarkin's an excellent suggestion.
Tarkin's not a bad selection. Rebel Fleet Trooper could also be there. That was like the first figure to come with butterfly joints. So he's...
Yeah, Rebel Fleet Trooper, Tarkin.
Boba Fett, Return of the Jedi. That's it. Done.
Special edition.
Honestly, he's been on the list. We've mentioned him so many times. I feel like
it feels too wrong. It feels too wrong. We can't do it. It's too wrong. Let's do either Tarkin or like the Figure Dan / Nayland Cheel. And I feel like that's so tough. Tarkin is such an amazing figure, and he comes with the interrogation droid. All right, Mike, you can pick. Tarkin or
You're gonna leave it to me?
Tarkin
Like we have too
or
many bad guys in our Hall of Fame. If you're leaving it to me, I'm saying Figrin Dan, specifically Figrin Dan, because he's like he is the face of the band, if you will. Like Neil and
Sold.
Shield might be cooler because he comes with more stuff and whatnot, but I feel like Figrin Dan is the mascot of the show. Pletho's bang on, so I think I would say Figrin Dan.
Figrin Dan it is. He is Black Series Cantina
Wailing
Hall
on
of
that
Fame
crew
member.
horn.
Number 9. So that's our 9th Hall of Fame entry. We've done 9 already. So Figrin Dan is number 9. I'll get that
First figure
posted.
to
And I
have
won't forget
ball joint
this time.
wrists.
Yeah. He could have had some butters. That would have
I mean, he's not a perfect figure, but he is a banger, and
he is great.
he looks good on the shelf, especially when you have like 5 of him at least.
I got 5 right there. And it's
I've
excellent.
got 7 just off camera.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, what a great figure Dan is. And he's been out for over a year, so it's
Oh yeah, he came out like 2022, I think.
right. So yeah, so we're able to put him in the Hall of Fame. At least it's been long enough, even if it's like close enough to a year.
Yeah, well, he was pre plastic free packaging, so he's good. Yeah.
All right, perfect. I did actually forget to put something on the show notes, and I'm gonna do my best to try to find this in a good amount of time. I gotta go to my messages because I know like I had like 4 people send this to me, but I just gotta find out who it was. Oh, come on now, Mike, fill time on the.
Oh, okay. I gotta fill time.
I found it. Never mind. You don't got to fill
I'm so
time.
glad
anymore.
I filled that time. That was good time.
Excellent timing. Okay, so this is the last thing of like news discussion worthy. So I'm gonna share my screen, and I think you might know what it is. I forgot to put it on the show notes, and I'm glad I remembered before the end. But there is a new episode 3. Not Anakin Skywalker, but the Fallen Savior.
Yep.
Which obviously this is, so for people listening, this is from Toys Metaverse with a Z, Toys, Toyz Metaverse. Go look up their Instagram. They're a third-party company that makes figures. They announced an episode 3 Anakin Skywalker, and it looks very good. I think it's $90 or something like that, $98 after everything. You have to pay a $20 deposit.
Yeah, that's
But-
how those go.
He looks great for a 6-inch Anakin. He comes with a lot, but he doesn't come with his episode 3 lightsaber or Count Dooku's lightsaber. He comes with his episode 2 saber and I guess the green saber he uses in episode 2 because
It's weird that he's got episode 2 lightsabers for specifically being an episode 3 figure.
I think they made an episode 2 Anakin before this, so I'm assuming they're just reusing the 2 lightsabers.
Probably.
But it's so weird they are doing episode 3, but they didn't do the Count Dooku.
Honestly,
and
that kind of kills it. That kind of kills it for me. Like it would have been perfect if he came with Count Dooku and then obviously his episode 3 lightsaber. But like the fact that he does it, like that kind of ruins it a little bit.
Also, I feel like his robe should be a little darker. Like in most shots,
too brown. Yeah.
in most shots in the movie, it's like a very dark brown, almost
I
black
thought it was
robe
black
that he
for a
wears.
long time, honestly.
Yeah, and this like GIF here, you can see the brown, but in most shots, it's very very dark brown. Like it's hard to even notice it's brown. It's a lot darker than Obi-Wan's is. This is like an Obi-Wan color robe. My only thing is like this is really cool, but I don't think I'm in on it honestly. Like whenever I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is actually insane. I'm gonna get this for sure."
Yeah.
But then I realized it's soft goods from shoulder to knee, the whole thing. I don't necessarily. It doesn't fit with Black Series at all. Like maybe I could have him on a 3D print or something. But with the Black Series one being rumored, I don't think I'm gonna pull the trigger on this one.
Pletho says that we have to have at least 70 blue Anakin sabers from Black Series. And while that's true for a $90 figure, I feel like you should have the right sabers that come with it. It's the principle.
Yeah, I mean, it does look good. Like, the face is pretty solid, and especially under the cloak. Like, it comes with alternate head, so you can have the good version and the dark side eyes version, which is excellent. Yeah.
It looks good, and that's the thing. You know, I love third-party stuff. Like, it's not even a moral gray area. Like, this is 100% IP theft. It's not a knockoff. People are like, oh, it's a knockoff Anakin. No, a knockoff Anakin would be like if they took an already existing mold, like Hasbro mold or a SH Figuarts mold, and just made that. Like, that's a knockoff.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a wholly original figure, new molding, new tooling, new accessories, all of that stuff. It's just something they don't own, so they can't call it, you know, Anakin Skywalker. They're calling it the Fallen Savior. I have so many third-party Transformers, and they're all fantastic. Like, the people that made them obviously make it with love. I have on 5K Toys, I have their Gandalf figure on pre-order because it looks amazing, and I just figure, like, I kind of want a Gandalf figure because I like Gandalf a lot. I just they don't have the rights to it. They don't, but they wanted to make it, and they're doing a good job.
Yeah, one other thing throwing me off about this figure is the left hand. Like, you see how shiny it is in this shot?
It's real shiny.
It just looks like a baby doll hand, and it's just kind of throwing me off.
Honestly, the
bit,
figures,
you know?
the figures look like little ET figures, like hands, little fingers, little.
Yeah.
I said figures. I meant fingers. The fingers look weird for sure.
Yeah, like, the hand is throwing me off big time in this picture specifically.
It does. It looks weird.
So, like, as cool as it is, and you know, this company made a cool Darth Maul.
Yes, they made Darth Maul. That's right.
They make a lot of really cool figures, but I just don't think I'm as cool as it is. I don't think I'm in on this one. I'm gonna wait for the Black Series one.
I think this J&B Toys. I think they're the ones that are making the Gandalf. I pre-ordered.
Let me see if I can find it on here.
So they've got the Aragorn there.
Is this
and
Aragorn?
It looks really good. Yeah, for sure.
I've never seen any Lord of the Rings show or movie.
What?
By the way, yeah, I'm sorry.
What?
I don't watch a lot of stuff, man. What? I've been watching USA men's basketball. We can talk about that. NFL's coming on soon. We can talk about that.
Hold on. You've never watched The Lord of the Rings?
That's like 8 hours per movie. No, I have not. I've also never seen any of the Dark Knight trilogy movies from start to finish.
That's okay. But, like,
people usually get mad at that one.
I don't care about that one. I honestly, Scott, that movie has the same problem for me that Game of Thrones has, where the third one's so dumb. Like, I don't really, it kind of ruined the Dark Knight and Batman Begins. Like, it was dumb. But
I have seen
trilogy?
I have seen all of the Harry Potters, though. My wife made me watch those in college because that was our trade-off. I told her she had to watch Star Wars. She told me I had to watch Harry Potter. So,
but Lord of the Rings? Lord of the Rings is Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen like some of the clips on YouTube or whatever. They're cool. You know, it's like they have the night battle that's like fully lit up somehow. That's pretty cool.
Watch Lord of the Rings.
It's a big time commitment. What's the movie they have? Like, what's the smallest runtime for a movie in the Lord of the Rings? They have like 6 movies out.
The first, well, so it depends on if you're watching the theatrical versions or the extended versions. And I highly recommend just watch the extended editions because
so you lost me already.
It's worth it. But I think the runtime for that one is like 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Look, maybe one day, but there's a lot of stuff I got to rewatch.
It's worth it. It's so good.
Yeah, but it's Lord of the Rings, you know.
Dude, Lord of the Rings invented the genre of fantasy.
I'm not a fantasy guy. I mean, I like Game of Thrones a lot, but
you like Game of Thrones. You like fantasy.
But I like I like the medieval part of it more than I do the fantasy part of it, like the magic and
that's
stuff.
mostly what it is. Other than like, okay, there's a dwarf and an elf. Like it's just fantasy. It's just
Nope, I'm out.
stuff.
I'm out. Dwarfs, nope, I'm out.
You're so dumb. Yeah, Star Wars is just fantasy in space.
I get that, and it's a space fantasy, and it's not sci-fi.
It's got wizards. It's got princesses. It's got knights. It's not. You're throwing me for a loop here.
I mean, look, maybe one day, if you can ever, if we ever meet in person, you know, if you happen to ever move closer than where you are, we can do a sleepover.
I'm gonna make you watch. I've got them on 4K. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna have all of the Hobbit meals. We're gonna have breakfast. We're gonna have second breakfast. We're gonna have 11
Oh
teas.
gosh.
We're gonna have luncheon. We're gonna have tea time. We're gonna have dinner. Then we're gonna have supper. Okay. We're gonna.
That sounds like a lot of food.
Hobbit meals.
That sounds like a lot of food.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get a big old pizza, and we'll watch. We'll
Get one of those big 50-inch pizzas, like those giant pizzas.
Yeah, and we'll do like an 8-hour binge or a 12-hour binge of
Honestly,
all the movies.
even we don't have to watch them all in one time. I've never done that. Like watch them once a month or something. Like set aside an afternoon on a Saturday, block out 3 hours, and just have one of the best cinematic experiences you could ever have in your entire life.
Blocking out time for movies is hard for me. Like I tried to watch.
Not even kidding.
I tried to watch The Gladiator again for the first time in like 15 years, and I haven't finished that yet. So
No, Pletho. The theatrical editions do not exist. The theatrical editions are garbage, and they should all be burned. The extended editions are the only ones. If you don't have time to watch the extended editions, you don't have time to watch Lord of the Rings. I'm not kidding when I say if I had to choose between Star Wars and Lord of the Rings,
don't say it. I'm gonna kick you from the pod.
I might choose Lord of the Rings over it. It'd be tough. It'd be a tough choice.
All right, I feel like we got to end the podcast on this note now. Mike just said he's.
You broke my heart.
Look, maybe one day.
I get you've never seen Aliens and any Predators. That's fine. Like I can overlook that stuff. Never seen Christopher Nolan Batman movies. Who cares? Lord of the Rings is seminal.
Look, maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. If you just happen to move closer to me, we'll make it happen.
All right. I'm gonna hold you to that.
I'd rather just get together and watch like Revenge of the Sith or something.
I'm gonna hold you to it. No, we're gonna watch Lord of the Rings. We're gonna watch and you're gonna thank me. You're gonna be like, "Oh, Mike, how could I have been so blind? How could I have been that stupid? How could I have been that ignorant to have not watched Lord of the Rings until now?" That's what you'll say to me.
We shall see. Also, before we go,
Ian McKellen is Gandalf.
I don't even know who Ian McKellen is.
Yes, you do. He's Magneto.
Who's Magneto?
Oh, yeah. Now you're just messing with me.
I mean, he's a superhero, but I've never seen a movie Magneto's in.
Oh my god, I need to stop this. We need to end this.
Wait, or is he a villain? Is Magneto a villain or is
Magneto is a villain in the X-Men? I can't deal with you right now.
The only thing X-Men I've ever watched is Logan. I saw Logan in theaters when it came out because a buddy asked me to go. So,
sure.
In college. Are the X-Men movies good?
Some of them. Some of them are good.
Has Zach seen any movies? I've seen
any movies. It's a great question. Do they not have movies in Kentucky?
Yeah, we.
Do you just have movie theaters? Like, what's going on? How do you even like Star Wars?
We're struggling out here, man. It's a struggle out here. I did want to talk about ICC Con real quick.
Okay.
Before jumping off. Are you going to ICC Con? Do you know if you're going?
Yeah, I'm going. Absolutely.
Is it 100% confirmed?
I mean, I've got tickets. I haven't bought my plane ticket or anything yet, but I'm also waiting because I want to know what the plan is before I commit to buying plane tickets. But I have the money. Like, it's there. I just have to spend it.
Okay, so we'll get together and we'll try to work out some logistics.
Yeah.
So I did just want to tell everybody, Black Series Cantina will be at ICCCon. Hopefully, we can get on the podcast stage like I did with the Out of the Basement Boys and Lucanus last year, and like I did the year before with Sleeping Collectibles and Nilda Collect. I forget what her Instagram and TikTok is, but her name's Nilda something. I was on the podcast stage 2 years in a row, so hopefully I can get back on it tomorrow or this year. And, you know, we're going to have a big group there, so it'd be cool to have everybody there. And we can insert it again live like we did last year, our little bit into the podcast. So, yeah, if you want to meet us or hang out with us, we have, you know, Out of the Basement Boys are going. There's a pretty big, we have, I know our VIP, Brian is going. Wilbon's going. There's going to be
For like a day.
for literally one day. Wilbon's going to be there Thursday, and then he has to leave, unfortunately. So there's going to be a lot of people there, and so if you want to hang out with us, buy some cool figures at ICCCon and hang out, go to ICCCon, and it's definitely one of the best collector cons there is. They probably have, and you know, good for them, but
I'm just saying, the Out of the Basement Boys have seen Lord of the Rings. I know they have.
well,
Actually, I'm going to be equally as appalled if they haven't.
I'm sure they have. I mean, they're movie. I think they're
like
movie
movies.
buffs. They're movie
They like
buffs.
movies.
I've never been a movie buff. I've always been a sports guy. Sports and Star Wars. That's about my line.
A Hobbit invented the game of golf.
I don't even know what that means. Is that a quote from the movie?
Yeah, actually it is.
All right, so I think we're going to end it on that note. Go to ICCCon. We're both going to be there, so that's going to be an amazing time. Last year was awesome, so I know this year is going to be even better with the amount of people that are going. Mike, do you have anything you're working on, and you want to give any special plugs or anything?
Sure, I'm going to work on making you watch Lord of the Rings. I have filmed
Good luck with that.
I have filmed the video for the Rebel Fleet Trooper Stormtrooper 2-pack for people who just kind of want to see what that looks like out of the box. I'm going to do a video on the Sidious and stuff. And, you know, I'll do one on the mall when I get that. But, I mean, I'm not done making videos. They're coming. They're coming out.
Awesome. So go subscribe to Mike on YouTube at Mike Case. Go follow him on Instagram as well at Trusty Sidekick. You can follow me on Instagram at Black Series Cantina. We post whenever the show is available every other week. Also follow me on TikTok at the Star Wars Black Series. Be sure you watch for 5 seconds or longer and interact, like, comment. That really helps me out. If you want to support us in a financial way, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Black Series Cantina. If you like the show, you know, you can get the content for free every other week on any podcast app. But if you can support us financially, we would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. It helps fund things like what we're going to do at ICCCon. So, again, going to there and meeting up with people. So that will be awesome. Leave us a review if you can't support us financially, like liking this on YouTube or leaving a review on any podcasting app really gets us in out there in the algorithm. Follow us on Twitter at TBS Cantina. Join our Facebook group. That's a big one. We post. That's mostly where we update. Like if the show's running late, like tonight, we had to go an hour and a half later than normal, or if we had a delay or certain podcast schedule notices. Facebook group Black Series Cantina. We have merch if you want to buy a fancy shirt like this one, or a mug, or a pint glass, or a hat, or a hoodie, t-shirts, you name it, we got it. That's on Teespring. Black Series Cantina. Look us up on Teespring. You can get the Rancor shirt. I think that's still available. RIP Rancor shirt, or is that out of commission? I think that's still available, right?
I think it's still
That's
there.
right.
Yeah.
That's probably our most popular one, to go get the RIP Rancor shirt. And if you don't want the email segment to die, shoot us an email, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. Thank you for listening to this podcast. As always, I'm Zach, and Mike is going to take us out.
Yep. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.